Mark. Now let's move on then to, other economic aspects, I suppose. Oil tankers and, Russian oil, the price is now going to be set at $60 a barrel. This is the G7 have decided this, and the question is, how are they going to do it? Well, they're going to do it mainly through insurance. So they're going to require oil tankers that want to sail the seas to have a license, and they will only get a license if they're insured, and they're only going to be insured if the oil inside those tankers is costing no more than $60 a barrel. So the UK, in partnership with G7, Australia and the European Union, have agreed this. And the finance ministers agreed to a cap in September. This is now the implementation of it. And legislation in the UK has been laid on the 3rd of November as in the form of a statutory instrument made under the Sanctions and Anti-Money Laundering Act 2018. So there you go. Let's see what the wonderful Jeremy Hunt had to say about this. The UK will stand with Ukraine and her people for as long as Putin's war continues. We will not waver in our support, and we'll continue to look for new ways to clamp down on Putin's funding streams wherever we can.
And I believe I'm correct in saying that the Russians have said, well, we can transport 80% or thereabouts of our own oil, and if we can't transport the rest, well, nobody's going to get it. So they don't seem fazed by this.
Well, we'll come on to that in a second. Let's see what OPEC Plus did, because OPEC Plus includes Russia, and they decided that they were going to continue reducing production, and this had the expected effect of pushing prices up today. Now, whether on a long-term basis this is going to make any difference, we have to wait and see. But if it does, we've got to remember that once again, oil prices going up, which is feeding into inflation, is as a result of government policy. We'll just have a look and see where we are on a monthly basis. So it's up nearly 2% today, but down 12% over the past month. So we'll see what the long-term implications of this are. But here's an interesting thing, because it's not all, it doesn't all seem to be going to script, because here's a part of the comments from the Council of the EU. This is part of their statement. The Council also introduced an emergency clause which allows the transport of oil beyond the price cap or the provision of technical assistance, brokering services or financial assistance related to the transport when these are necessary for the urgent prevention or mitigation of an event likely to have a serious or significant impact on human health and safety, or the environment, or as a response to natural disasters. So it seems like that they've given themselves a whole bunch of caveats there, Brian, to just keep taking Russian oil, because they could say that perhaps, well, the fact that we can't heat our homes in Germany over the winter would have an impact on human health, and therefore we'll just take the oil anyway at whatever price.
Well, they also say there's an ongoing natural disaster, which is climate change, according to them. So, this is a free hand, just play the rules as they would like.
Yes, so here is Dmitry Peskov saying, we are analysing it now, this change. Some preparation has been made. We will not accept this cap, and we will inform you after the analysis, which will be carried out quite quickly. And as you say, the Russians have markets other than in the West. We will see what the long-term implications of this are. David, any thoughts quickly?
Well, firstly, this may be a huge boost to the Russian insurance market, because the naive idea that only London can insure ships, this is not God-given. This is only because they've done this for a long time and tend to do it well. Now it's been the subject of manipulation by politicians. This may not go so well. Secondly, if they manage to impose the cap, they'll make all Russian oil the most desirable product because it's going to be cheap. So,
well, the Russians have already said they're not going to sell it at that price, David.
Well, we'll see. But you initiate smuggling, you initiate all sorts of dark arts as the market tries to right itself and it tries to clear at the market clearing price. This is going to be, I would suggest, hilarious. This will not work well.
I'll just add to that, David. Some of the reports I was reading over the weekend suggested that the West is going to say it's okay for India to rebag the oil and re-export it, which I found particularly interesting. I wonder if our Prime Minister had any hand in such a deal, if that is true.